What's going on, guys? It's me, Josh, with the Manufacturing Manager, and today I've got 12 tips for those of you who want to become a manager after working hourly in a manufacturing facility. So there's 12 things that you're going to need to do if you want to become a manager after working hourly at a manufacturing facility, and they're very easy to do. All you have to do basically is add value to your company, and in return most companies will make you a manager, at least in the frontline segment, and then you can become a leadership within your organization to help others to grow themselves. When we come back, there'll be 12 tips for becoming a manager. Tip number 1 is pretty simple. It's just adding value to your company. So what that means is that you show up to work early, leave late. While you're there, you're working 100%, giving the company as much as you can of your ability and your time to make you a valuable associate for your company. By doing this allows the company to see how hard you're willing to work for the company's success. And by doing this, it greatly increases your chances of going to a salary management position and increasing your overall net income from that company. Tip number 2. If you're looking to expand your knowledge and your abilities, then how about asking your current boss or manager if there's any classes that you would be able to complete that help increase your leadership skills, your coaching skills, and maybe even your manager could help out along the lines of this too. Increasing your knowledge base is always a good thing when trying to move up in the company. Tip number 3, you have to be able to accept feedback, and this feedback comes in all types. There's constructive feedback, there's negative feedback, positive feedback. However it plays out, you need to be able to accept this feedback and learn and grow from it. Step number 4, communicating well with your team. I don't know any successful managers within the manufacturing environment that aren't able to communicate effectively with their team. Now this could be in one-on-one communication, this could be communications in the form of meetings, or this could be communication in the form of addressing your entire team in front of a large audience. You have to be able to communicate well in order to show upper management that you are ready to move up into a management position. Step number 5. A lot of people can complete step number 5, but not in the manner that it needs to be completed in. Step number 5 is voicing your opinions in a constructive and respectable manner. You have to be able to let your team know when you don't think something's right, but you have to be able to do this in a respectable manner that's appropriate for the workplace. Getting your ideas and your thoughts out there is good for the team. However, it can have a negative impact on the team if you don't go about it the right way. Step number 6. This ties into step number 1. Step number 6 is putting in as many hours as possible as you can at your place of employment. This means coming in early, staying late, picking up any unscheduled shifts, working all the overtime you can. What this does, it allows the company to see that you are willing to make sacrifices in order for the greater benefit of the company. Step number 7 is providing ideas that decrease bottlenecks within the manufacturing process, increasing the amount of throughput that process can get through that day. Some companies have these in the form of process improvements or OFIs. There's many different names for this, and there's many different ways of going about it, but just trying to benefit the company in some way by your ideas that will cost the company less money and give the company greater benefit. Step number 8 is not a necessity, but it will greatly help. So if you're currently in an hourly position and the highest amount of schooling you have is high school, going back to college and getting a business degree would greatly help. It would also help you to understand how business works, what are the do's and don'ts of business, and increasing your overall knowledge base of how to lead and manage people. There are many different schools that you can go to nowadays. I personally graduated from an online university, and I haven't had any downfalls from doing that. I know there's some stigmas around going to Division I schools to get better jobs, but that's not necessarily the case anymore. A lot of companies are looking for experience with a little bit of schooling, as opposed to in the past where companies wanted employees with a lot of schooling and experience didn't matter that much. We're going back to the days to where experience count more than schooling. However, it is still a necessity once you get to a certain level to have that degree. Step number 9, dress for the job. As you can see, I dress daily in a button-down shirt. If it's cold outside, I usually wear a vest and I wear khaki pants. dress shoes, you know, the whole nine. Now, if you're in an hourly position, I'm not saying to dress how someone in management would dress. However, you need to dress as professional as you can and still be comfortable in your working environment. If it's hot in your process, then I'm not saying wear a long sleeve shirt or pants. I'm just saying to dress as professional as you can now in the position that you have, looking forward the position that you want. Step number 10, companies are always looking for great trainers and on-the-job trainers and someone to help train the newcomers up as efficiently and as quickly as possible. Volunteering to be a trainer is a great way to show that you're willing to set aside any issues that you may have in order to get the company to where they need to be. In other words, you're giving the company the most benefit for the amount of money that they're paying you. Step number 11. This is coming up to the interview process now, and you need to be prepared for your interview. Now, this means a lot of companies these days are going by a competency-based or a talent-based interview, which means they expect situational answers in the form of a STAR or a situation, task, action, and result. If you're not able to complete interviews in this manner, it's not the end of the world. However, I can tell you based on personal experience that if you don't give specific situational answers based on your own personal experiences, the chances of you getting that position greatly go down. So make sure you're prepared for that interview. If you could, you know, check in with the HR department at that company, see what type of questions are going to be asked. You want to be as prepared as possible so that you can effectively get your point across to the interview team. This has been 11 tips to help you move from hourly to salary. This is Josh signing off with the Manufacturing Manager.